live. Yes, Miles. Welcome to the Reece podcast. Thanks for coming on today, bro.
Thank you for having me.
Not a problem at all. So, just a little bit of background on you. One half of the MX twins. Tell me a little bit about that.
The MX twins, so I'm Miles, and the other half is Mason. We're identical twins, and just chasing dreams, man. Flat out, yeah. We make music. We're content creators, presenters, models, and rappers.
You both look fantastic, I must say so, mate, honestly.
Oh, thank you very much.
So, look, most podcasts, they all start very, very similar. They all start by going back and looking at your childhood and like what made you who you are today. We're going to start this a little bit different. We're going to start off with a gift. I've got a book for you.
Oh,
Man's Search for Meaning. I'm not sure if you read it.
No.
It's about it's a guy called Viktor Frankl. He was a survivor of Auschwitz, and he speaks about how people find meaning in the darkest and deepest parts of life.
Right.
And this is for you. And the reason why I want to start with this is I know you like reading.
I love it.
And I know I like reading. And we've obviously touched briefly upon certain books that we have read. And they're very similar. So I want you to tell me and tell our audience, what were your 3 best books?
3 best
And then
books.
we'll delve a little bit deeper into that.
Right. Oh, damn. I'm a big believer that books come to you at the perfect time for you.
Me too.
And yeah, so some of them might not necessarily be the best books information-wise, but in terms of what's resonated with me in the most powerful way. The first one is called The Untethered Soul. And
I know that book.
Have you read it?
Of course.
Oh, man. Wow. So that was the first book I read where it absolutely just, I was engrossed. I actually read it in 2 sittings because I just couldn't keep my eyes off it.
Do you feel like that book is very, very similar to Eckhart Tolle's The Power of Now?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, definitely.
It's got pretty big teachings, bro, on it.
Huge.
Will you tell me then? Let's look at that book first of all, The Untethered Soul, and book can have massive impact, and I know for you and for me they have done. What would you say the biggest teaching for you in that book was?
Biggest teaching was that little voice in your head ain't you. That little voice is not you. And I never knew that. And then reading that, I was like, oh my God. And then you become conscious and aware of all of these voices and thoughts that are going on in your head, which isn't you, but it's so easy to, think it is and label that as yourself speaking to you, and it's not.
100%. We are the observer. We are the witness.
Yes.
We are the one who's listening to the thoughts. And for like viewers on the external, when you first hear that, it can be quite difficult to understand, and embodying it is even more difficult. But I think when that becomes a thought process for you and you start to intuitively understand it, you start to gain such a massive amount of awareness and you find space between your thoughts.
Definitely.
I think in a world like today, because we're so stimulated and our minds are just so busy all the time, if you can't find that awareness, you become overwhelmed, and that's how anxiety, depression, and people's biggest problems become.
Yeah.
What a mad teaching, man.
Definitely. Crazy. And that was the first time I even realized the power of, oh my God, number 1, it's not me. Number 2, I am in control of this. Oh my God, what? So then I just spent a load of time after that realizing and figuring out so much. I felt like my whole life, what I knew before was a lie. And I just became in control. I was the one that was seeing these things come in and just watching it pass away back through. And yeah, it changed me.
You become anchored and you don't become moved by anything that happens externally. You become strong, man. Okay, so look, what was your second book?
Second book. Do you know what? I think I've got to say The Power now. That was just again in the time I read it when I went away, and it was just it's beautiful, and it really it just leads on from, I guess, The Untethered Soul of just staying present right now, becoming aware of everything that's coming in, everything that's going out, and I truly believe that the power of now in the present moment is the most important thing in life.
100%. The past and the future are gone and can't be changed. All that you can do now is work 100% in what's happening in front of you.
That's it.
And most of the time in presence, there's no thoughts. And without any thoughts, well, we are very, very powerful, bro. I think, look, The Power of Now and Eckhart Tolle's books as a whole, I'm not sure if you've read New Earth.
No, I haven't.
New Earth's one of his other books, and he speaks about how we can embody a new earth by having more presence, by becoming the awareness. It delves a lot more into ego as well, and ego is definitely something that a lot of us are scared of, and a lot of us obviously have like scare stories of what we perceive ego to be.
Yeah.
When you understand that it's just a man-made identity and self-image that we've created for ourselves, that opens up a power inside of us, man. It really does.
It's
it
crazy.
Really does. And like, this is why I want to start with the books, because I think this is the information that I want to get out there to people. And obviously we're young, man, and sometimes like it's very difficult without a very good reputation for people to actually listen or embody the things that you're saying. But you can even just tell by the energy that we're giving off right now how much this has changed both of us.
Oh man, immensely. I think books are just such a cheat code. You know, you got people writing these books. Eckhart Tolle, for example. I think he's quite an old guy anyway. I think
he's very old now. He's Dutch, isn't he?
Yeah. And so he's, you know, written these books over knowledge and wisdom that he's accumulated over his whole lifetime. You know, we're 20s, and I now have his whole lifetime of knowledge and wisdom, and I'm 21. So, you know, think by the time,
that's powerful, bro.
By the time I'm 80 years old, when I'm his age, what kind of knowledge and wisdom am I going to be getting if I'm continue to, you know, take in this material?
You can become a teacher, and I think as well, like, knowing the information's good, but embodying it in the way that you act is what becomes, I think, a focus for you when you obviously start to understand these concepts. Eckhart's amazing, and if you haven't read them before, gang, I highly recommend going and listen to an audio book. Just go and read The Power of Now, man.
Definitely, yeah.
So moving on from that then, and then what would you say your third and final book is?
Number one spot is The Secret by Rhonda Byrne.
Law of Attraction, baby.
Oh my word. Game changer in every way possible. I only read it recently, you know.
Oh, wow.
And I think, probably 4 months ago? Damn.
So I've actually never read The Secret. I know obviously a lot about the teachings, but I've never read it. Can you then elaborate a little bit more about what was so powerful about that book for you?
Yeah, so it's all about the law of attraction. And before that, you hear people mention the law of attraction and stuff like that, and you think it's quite a taboo subject. And this book breaks it down and tells you the laws, because it's real stuff, you know, it's like neuroscience and
metaphysics, baby.
Yeah, and it's real. And this book breaks it down and shows you how it works, gives you actual examples of it working in day-to-day life, and teaches you how to do it. And you start putting these teachers into practice, and shit comes true. Am I allowed to swear?
Yeah, you can swear.
Shit comes true.
This is unfiltered, my friend.
Yeah. So, yeah, that really changed my life. The second I read that book, even the first chapter, my life changed in an instant, and that gave me the capabilities and the confidence in my mind that anything I see, anything I can feel and visualize, means it's already happened, and we're just waiting for time to catch up. You know what I'm saying? If I can see it, I can make it happen, and I've got full confidence and full faith in that.
Thoughts charged with emotion and especially belief can manifest absolutely anything into your experience. And look, it's very difficult for some people to be able to understand that if they haven't got the awareness to be able to look at these things. And then what starts to happen, I believe, is that when you start actually understanding these things more, manifestation happens a lot faster. And you start to notice it and actually spot the glitches and how it's happening in your environment.
All these synchronicities going on, and most of the time it happens to people, and because they're not aware of it, they don't realize it. 100%. And it's only when you learn about it and then you start seeing these things pop up randomly by coincidence. Coincidences are a load of shit. They're not real. That's synchronicity, stuff happening because you're putting them, you know, energies out there.
We're definitely going through a massive change as a society, and I think that there's a massive like global awakening, especially with the younger people. Like, I'm speaking to a lot of younger people now, lads especially, who are really starting to embody this like open mindedness and this type of perspective of that they can create whatever they want through believing, but they can also control their own minds, because that's what a lot of this comes down to.
Yeah.
A lot of us are troubled. Well, not a lot of us, the majority of us are troubled by our own thought processes. If we can, even if this didn't exist, and even if this just all was in New Age wisdom, as they say, it still gives you a blueprint of how to exist and how to live and how to be.
Damn right. And there's so much out there now that we can use as material to, you know, gain that knowledge and understanding. And it's just cheat codes. It's literally cheat codes.
A podcast being one of them.
Exactly, yeah.
Tune in more.
Tune in. The Reece Online podcast. Get on it.
So look, I wanted to start with that because I knew that we could get straight to it, and I knew that would have massive impact on people. Now I want to look at a little bit more at your life and how you've got to this point of thinking, but how you've also got to this point in your career. So let's look a little bit at your childhood. I know you've got quite a big family. How was that dynamic for you growing up?
Yeah, it was really good. Yeah, I've got two brothers and a sister. I've got a twin brother and an older brother, and then my sister's the eldest. And always something going on, you know. It was always carnage, always fun, you know, with the brothers always fighting, and it was good. Yeah, we all got along nicely growing up, and it was as childhoods go, it was very smooth sailing, I'd say.
Good stuff. So
yeah,
being a twin is a very, very interesting thing anyway, especially being an identical twin where you can't spot the difference between you two. I want to look at that dynamic, and I want to look at what it was actually like being a twin growing up, and how your relationship was. Obviously, it's going very, very well now, being in obviously the rap band together. But let's look a little bit at that.
So, I always hated it.
Did you?
I hated it. Absolutely hated it. Same clothes, you know, same schoolmates, same classes, same everything. If he's got it, I've got to have it, and vice versa. And it's just like, oh my God, like this shadow walking around with you everywhere. And you know, he felt the same. And you just want your own space. You know, we shared a bedroom for 10 years, 11 years, whatever it was. And it got to the point we just started secondary school and we were fighting bad, like in the school field throwing fists, and you got the old school going around to watch kind of thing, and being sent home. And so it got to the point, it was like, right, my parents were like, right, they need to have their own space now. We moved apart and just moved different bedrooms and different classes and that. And then
it's very important to have that independence though, I think, as well, especially during your teenage years where you're just going through so much massive change emotionally, the way that you look.
Exactly. And you never know any different growing up as you're a kid, but it was when you got to that stage, it's like, oh my God, I need my own space now. And so yeah, that happened. And then it started to grow and grow and grow, our connection and bond. And it wasn't until I'd say 3 years ago where we realised how special this bond was. And then we come together and we started making music. And it was when we started making music together that we realised, oh, okay, like we've got this power, we've got this bond, this connection that no one else on planet Earth has. We got to utilise this. This is our golden ticket right now. So
very smart.
Yeah, and that was, you know, where it came, and then up until now we are literally as close as could be. We work together, we're with each other pretty much all the time, and we're smashing through life together.
So let's look a little bit then at what you're doing now. I think that just rolls on pretty well.
Yeah.
So you said that you obviously had the issues as you were growing up and you spending too much time together. How do you manage that dynamic now?
Yeah, because it is difficult, and we do squabble, you know, any siblings would anyway, but especially spending so much time together and running a business, and you got a brand to keep up, and you got work and constant stuff to do. There is definitely squabbles, but you know, it's realizing what's more important than that, what lies beyond that. You know, is what we got going on worth falling out over one little tiny thing? No. Fine, take some time away. Half an hour, a day, whatever it may be, and then it's back, you know, back to how it was, and there's no issues. So we are kind of good as with reading each other in that sense of, all right, we have a squabble, we might have a little falling out or disagree on something. Fine, I'm not going to talk to you for the next 2 hours. Maybe out of my stubbornness, but when we come back together, we'll talk it through and move forwards, you know, because our dreams, ambitions, and that fire inside is way stronger
than disagreement.
Yeah, exactly.
I think as well, like, that comes back to every relationship, especially ones where you are really close and you have like a special bond. Communication, man. It's so key. The amount of relationships, friendships, relationships with your family that break down because of lack of communication. Yeah. Everything can be fixed with honesty and proper communication. It really can. Yeah. It really can. Okay then, so I've been doing a little bit of research the past couple of days leading into this podcast, and I knew you obviously 4 or 5 years ago. I knew that version of you then, and I know this version is totally different than that version then. It's not that wasn't a good version then. It's just a much different version, a much more open version. Yeah. And I want to look at when that change started to happen. I seen that you spent some time out in Sri Lanka, and that seemed like from your socials that was a big turning point for you.
Yeah. God, man. So,
Take your time.
yeah, let me have a think. There wasn't. I wouldn't say there was one big significant change, but more a few different ones that accumulated together. One of them being the passing of one of our closest mates in 2021. He died in a motorcycle accident, and it was awful. It was tragic. It was one of the worst things that ever happened to us. And 17-year-old lads going about your teenage life, you don't expect that to come upon you ever. It's just not a thought that crosses your mind. And it happened, and it opened our eyes to life and to the fact of death, and that it can happen. And it gave us gratitude in terms of, let's make the most of what we've got now whilst we can, which was the first turning point. Then we made a song for him. He was an MC, and he loved music, and he had massive dreams and ambitions, just the same as we do now. So we made a song for him, and we weren't musicians at the time. We weren't rappers. We weren't nothing. And we wrote a song. And we thought, come on, let's get this out there for him. So that's exactly what we did. Made it, got it recorded. The amount of stuff you have to do and learn from nothing to releasing a song was crazy. We underestimated it completely, but we got it done. And then that was the turning point. We released our song for him, which was our first single, Finnovation.
What a beautiful thing to do. You turned like such a difficult, hard part of your life into something positive, and that's probably what the guy would have wanted for it.
Definitely.
Grief's such an interesting thing.
Yeah.
And I think grief at a young age, it has humongous impacts on the people around that, or people obviously involved in that. And I think you hit the nail on the head. I think it makes you realise what's actually important.
Yeah.
As a young person to experience that, it's such a negative at the time, but when you look back at it now, it probably taught you so much about life as a whole.
So much. And you know what? This is the craziest part about it, is the fact that one of the worst things that I've been through in my life has turned out to be the best thing, or the catalyst for the best thing. If he hadn't have died that day when he did, we would never have made the song. We would never have become MX2 who we are. We would have never continued to make music. We'd never be on this journey that we are right now, and I wouldn't be sat here right now talking to you. And it is absolutely crazy, and I thank the heavens every day, and it's such a blessing to build a career and build a legacy off our boy's name and do it for him, because that really is the root of all of it, building it all off him. So yeah, it's crazy, and I've got my guardians that are there for me, and I can feel them every day. And
call the llama, baby.
Yeah, man. So that was the first thing I'd say. That was the turning point. And that was how MX2 came about, and we thought, right, we've got something more here. Let's use this golden ticket.
I think when something starts in the way that does, I think that just gives you fire in your belly every single day. You have a purpose that is much bigger than you.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. It really is. And I'm just so excited to see the growth of that and where that's going to take you. And I think as well, like, people feel energy before they see anything, even if they're not consciously aware of doing so. And you have such a good energy about you, and so does your brother, and people are going to be so attracted to that, man.
Thank you, man.
And I think that's going to be one of your massive stages towards growth. Is the energy that you give off. Okay, so that's the first step.
That's the first step.
Let's look at the second step.
So, damn. I was getting on with things, but aimlessly getting on with things. And I had dreams and ambitions, but no way of getting there, no plan. And there was no really spiritual development happening at that point. And I needed something. I didn't know what I needed. And I could feel this urge, like an itch that I needed to scratch, and I just couldn't find out what it was or how. And this is where Sri Lanka came in, and how I, came about going there, which was such a random place at the time. And it all started from a dream I had.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was all
callings and answers.
Oh my God.
To us in the astral realm.
Wow, it was crazy, man. So it was a 30-second dream, literally 30 seconds. I remember it as clear as day. I'm in a grocery store. I'm at a till paying for some food, and I've got 5 people that are waiting for me at the end of the till that I'm just with, and we are laughing, and we're having the best time ever. And I remember just being so full of love and energy and fulfillment. And then we walk out the shop, and that was it. That was the only dream. But when I woke up for some weird reason, I knew I was in Sri Lanka. And at that point, I'd barely even heard of Sri Lanka. I didn't know where it was on the map. I didn't know anything about it. I went, odd. Whatever. Get on with my stuff. And then it was 5:30 in the morning when I woke up, and I'm off to the gym to go and coach CrossFit. And I've got a taster that's in, so it's their first ever time doing CrossFit. And he comes in, he's a 26-year-old lad called Dave. And so I'm getting to know him. I chat to him. How are you? Done CrossFit before? Blah, blah, blah. Tell me a bit about yourself. You know, what'd you get up to? He goes, oh, well, I just got back from Sri Lanka last week.
Wow.
I was there for 6 weeks on my own, solo traveling.
Coincidence.
Oh my God. Yeah. So I was like, oh, tell me more. So that happened. And then I went into work, my other job I was working at the time. And this woman there, she saw me looking at places and looking at things of solo traveling. She goes, oh my God, you want to go solo traveling? I was like, yeah. She said, where do you want to go? I said, well, I'm not really sure. I'm thinking of Sri Lanka. And she went, oh. I went, what? And she goes, oh my God, it's the most beautiful place ever. I've just been there myself. And she said she went there and she had a massive spiritual awakening. Her mum had previously died. And her mum told her to go to Sri Lanka. And so she did. And she was telling me about this crazy spiritual experience she had. And so this is in the space of 2 days. Sri Lanka. I was like, oh my God, this is mad. Book my flight. That was it, I'm going. And I had a girlfriend at the time. And I said to her, I was like, look, I'm going, I gotta go. I only told her once I booked the flights, I'm going. I said, I'm gotta go on my own. I can't explain to you why. It need to be on my own, you know. And so that was what happened. And then
it's so interesting how when things are meant to be, it all just falls into place. Yeah. But it can all happen just so fast. I feel like that was kind of like similar to me with like the whole opening a full moon.
Yeah.
Like one day we had an idea, the next day the dream was becoming a reality.
Yeah.
And I was on a moving roller coaster that I just couldn't stop, but I knew it was going to take me to exactly the right place.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's kind of the same for you in that situation.
Definitely.
It's so interesting. Okay, so then how did the girlfriend take that? So
first she was a bit pissed. She just didn't understand.
Of course.
And then I had these feelings where I just, you know, as much as I would have loved to have gone away with her, I just couldn't. This had to be something I had to do on my own. Like, I just had that urge, that calling that I need to be on my own. Time to myself. And then the answer came as to why I needed to be on myself. And that was a big turning point. And we ended up breaking up a month before I went. Yeah. But the whole time, it was time for myself. And I came to realize that the love I was trying to find in her was the love that I didn't have for myself. So this calling that I kept getting was, you know, be on your own. Didn't come through as break up with the girlfriend. It was find love for yourself, which was something that I didn't know I'd neglected for so long until I'd lost the love that I had. The only thing that I had to rely on for love had gone. And then all of a sudden I was there, just a broken man with no love inside him. And I went, oh my God, I now get it.
You were stripped naked down to your soul. Isn't it so interesting, love? Like, it's something I want to really touch upon quite a lot in this podcast. Love for ourselves is, I believe, the most important thing that we need to gain as humans.
So important.
Because if we want to be able to give love to everybody else, which is a massive part of why we are here, then we've got to be able to find that love for ourselves first, for it to radiate. Otherwise, if you can't love yourself, how can you give love to anybody else? So you, in essence, were using her as a crutch.
Definitely.
Instead of it being a symbiosis or simultaneous, you were getting love from her, she was getting love from you. It was like a crutch of both of you.
That's it. And that was something that I'd never even knew or thought of, because we got together when we were like 16. So I think before that, you're still quite young, so you don't really understand too much the laws of that and how it actually feels. And it wasn't until I was then there face to face with my pain and grief and realized that, oh my God, I've got no love whatsoever to myself. So then I said, right, I've got a month before I go away now to recoup myself and figure this out. And then when I get away and when I'm in Sri Lanka, it's time.
we use love as a distraction, or not a love so much. Maybe you could call it lust or attachment.
Yeah.
That is a distraction, a bit like drugs, a bit like food, a bit like exercise for some people. And it's very important that we can see that we have a lack inside of ourselves that we are trying to fill from something external. I think that's been a very big thing for me, is I've always tried to fill a void inside of myself through excessive use of certain things.
Yeah.
Excessive use of exercise is probably what I'm primarily known for.
Yeah.
Without actually realising what that is showing inside of me. Every single thing that you do is showing something inside of you, and sometimes it's showing the shadow side of ourselves that needs to be integrated. It's such a difficult thing to go through, man, but it's probably one of the best things that you can ever go through.
Do you know what? If I could go back and do it all again, I so would.
And you wouldn't change a thing?
I would not change a thing. It taught me so much. The growth that I experienced in such a short amount of time is out of this world. And that was purely coming face to face with my pain. If I felt pain and emotions, I'd sit there in my bedroom at my desk, I'd light a candle, and I'd just sit. And I would feel it. I'd feel every single part of it, and I'd show gratitude to it. And, you know, like, I'm glad I'm feeling this, because if I'm not feeling this, then what am I feeling? If I'm not feeling anything, am I even living? You know?
Bang on.
And I became in love with feeling. And I'm a heavy feeler, man. I feel so much, so heavily, and it can be very overwhelming, and it was.
As a male, that's actually quite unique. Because girls are probably a little bit more in touch with their emotional body than we are. Yeah. But I'm the same. I'm probably hyper emotional, maybe down to my conditions. But isn't it so amazing to be able to feel so much, though?
Oh man, so amazing.
And I think I always say this, like, when I look back at my life when I'm on my deathbed, and I look at the fact that I was able to experience every human emotion in the biggest possible way, I'm going to be so grateful for that. You know?
Yeah, exactly. And that's how I feel now, looking back at it. It was a year ago, and I'm on the other side of it now. But damn, that feeling of, you know, the only way out is to face it. The more I distract myself and try and dodge what I'm feeling and get around it, it's just going to come back and bite me. I've got to face this right here, right now. And God, you just learn so much about yourself.
You face the devil who sits on your shoulder, my friend.
You really do, man. And I was just like, bring it on.
Have you indulged in meditation?
Yeah, man. Big time.
What a game changer, man.
Oh, big time. Just, and everything. All sorts of different kind of meditations, you know, to...
Is it a routine for you? Is it something you do often? Because I do daily meditation.
Every day.
I do it twice a day.
Yeah.
And for me, that has been, especially as an ADHD person, we have so much energy all the time, and we have such a crave for dopamine that I needed to find something that would allow me to be content and peaceful with nothing. And being able to find that awareness, like we spoke about at the start, through meditation. And it's actually called metacognition in like from a therapy point of view. Yeah. Is that we become so aware of our thoughts and we're able to take ourselves away. Meditation taught me that, and to do that daily and become anchored in that awareness. It's such a power, man.
Such a power, yeah. Just to be still and find peace. I saw a thing the other day that said, what do you search for in life? And it was, he was a Shaolin monk. I can't remember his name now. And he said he doesn't search for happiness. People search for happiness, but that's impossible.
It's fleeting.
Exactly. If you search for happiness, you'll never be happy because you're chasing something that, you know, technically doesn't exist. Instead, search for peace. So then no matter what you're feeling, you're always in control. I was just like, oh my God.
It's just spot on, isn't it?
If I can find the peace and stillness within this rage of emotion or crazy overwhelmingness that's going on outside of me, then I'm good.
You said something before we started the podcast, and I think that's becomes very, very, very important to what we're saying here. Non-judgment and acceptance of everything that's going on inside of yourself. Yeah. When you run from it, it will stay there. Yeah. When you don't judge it and you accept it and you integrate it, you can fix it. It's actually like, I think when I thought about meditation, like over the years when I've been like various therapies, I was in camps, when I was a kid, I was in anger management, I used to think it was all woo-woo. Yeah. And then when I experienced through repetition the impact and change that it had in me, it literally has been a life changer, life-changing thing.
I'm all fatty, man. Accept for what is.
Exactly, yeah. Power of loving your fate.
Yeah, exactly. And I think realizing that, you know, that you're not in control of anything externally, but you're always in control internally. Control what you can, accept what you can't.
It's like the serenity prayer that was it Seneca and Marcus Aurelius used, was accepting what I cannot control.
Yeah.
And it's so powerful, man. It really is. So I think coming out of Sri Lanka then, and coming back to normal day-to-day life, and obviously taking off where you left off with your brother, what would you say the biggest thing that you noticed that had changed in yourself when you were working, when you were around people?
Straight away, I know. It was my time. How much I worth my time. How much is my time worth? And it was when I was away and when I realized, oh my God, like, I've got all this time to focus on me, and so much kept coming into my life, and I was gaining so much because I've got time, available time. And that was when I made the decision when I was away to say, right, I'm quitting my job. When I get back, that's it, I'm done. Because I know that my time is more precious and valuable than £12 an hour what I was on that job.
100%.
And so I was working 15-hour days at the time. I was coaching at the gym and working this full-time job as well. And I said, right, if I get rid of this full-time job, I can stay coaching. I can make just enough to get by. That'll do me. And I phoned Mason and told him, yep, great, blah, blah, blah. He ended up doing the exact same thing. And we both came together and said, right, let's make this work. Let's make this work. I said, I've got all this time now where I can commit. And what am I doing, man? What am I doing? I'm using all of my energy and time on things that don't fill me. And I was pulling my hair out, literally pulling my hair out. So, yeah, it made me realize that I've got to start doing things that fill me up with energy and not take it and drain it.
Isn't it so interesting? And it's so sad that as a society, that's the way that we have to live. Is that for the majority of us, especially people who come from working class backgrounds, is that we do things that we hate to be able to survive.
Yeah.
And people get so stuck in that loop. Everyone's speaking about it now. People call it the Matrix, whatever you want to call it. It's just, it's so sad that what we are all doing to our souls,
That's it, yeah.
by, in essence, selling it away for the pound note. You have to do what you have to do to survive, but it's just sad that has to be the case.
I know, it's crazy. I think it's just formulating a plan. Like, I always had in my mind I was going to do it, but then you start to procrastinate it and think, oh, well, a bit more security. I'll do it when I feel ready.
Fear.
Yeah. And then you're realizing that being ready, you can't feel ready. Ready isn't an emotion. So how can you possibly feel ready to do something? You've just got to do it. And then you'll make it work. So yeah, that was exactly what happened. And there was a lot leading up to it, you know. Like I said, it was 15-hour days for a good few years, and I was non-stop whilst building the MX2 stuff on the side.
And you didn't have the energy to actually
invest
100% into what it is that you wanted to do. It's so interesting. That's going to bring me on to the next point, to be honest. And I think I want to speak about more like men's mental health. And I know it's something you've been doing a lot of work on, both your own account and also your TikTok account and the MX account. What is it that we can do, or what changes can we make, especially with people who are starting to build a profile, with our businesses, to bring more awareness around this and to let people know that to be emotional and to be open as a male is going to save all your relationships, first of all, but is also going to bring you better peace, better contentment and understanding of yourself. What is it that we can do?
You've got to break that toxic masculinity. And that is the number one thing that MX2 preach. In our bio, it says, you know, breaking toxic masculinity to prove that it's okay to feel as a man. It's okay to be yourself. It's okay to reach out. And, you know, I think it even leads back to the working and grinding mindset is all good, but at the same time, it's like, well, nah, because we're human beings as well. You know what I mean? It's good to get your head down and hustle and grind, but at the same time, it's okay to not be okay.
It's about balance, and it's about walking the middle path.
Yeah.
Because you also have to be able to understand that you've got intrinsic motivators and intrinsic drives in yourself for enjoyment.
Yeah.
For love.
Yeah.
For feeling, for lust, for attachment, whatever all these things. that we need to be able to find the balance between hustling, working hard, but also having enjoyment, spending time with the people that matter to you. And I think that's where we've all gone so wrong. I am a product of this. I have so many times worked myself to oblivion. And when I was a competitor in CrossFit, in my headspace, I thought that if I work hard than every other person, I'm going to be happier and I'm going to succeed in the goals that I wanted to achieve, but not realising that I was losing my personality and losing myself completely in the process of doing that. So is that really enjoyment?
Really, it's the other way around, isn't it? The happier you can make yourself and the better you can make your lifestyle, the harder you can then, the better results you're going to get.
And then it comes back to vibrations, doesn't it, and frequency. You then naturally attract that because you're happy, you're content, you're peaceful. So your vibrations are higher, which means you attract things of that format.
Yeah, definitely.
It's so interesting, isn't it? Like, especially when you start to speak about like frequencies and vibrations, and some people are not going to listen to this podcast now because of this.
Very woo-woo. But it's real. it's real.
100%.
If you look at all the people that are doing it right now and that are there, they're all tuned in. They're all vibrating at that frequencies. Yeah,
they really are. Okay, so let's move into CrossFit. It's definitely something I want to touch upon. It's the first podcast.
Had to be done. It had to be done.
You're a CrossFit coach. I'm a CrossFit coach. We both love the training.
Yeah.
What would you say for you as being the most impactful thing about training CrossFit?
Realizing that you're part of other people's dreams too.
Wow, that's powerful. That really is. I don't think people understand the impact that our concept has, not just on you as a person, but also your social life, and how many people come to our gym, not even so much for the training, but for the people.
Yeah.
And you understand as well that doesn't matter what walk of life people come from, that we can all come together, let our mask down, and all be good people and feel good energy.
Yeah.
I think for me personally, I think the biggest thing that CrossFit taught me is that if we can learn to suffer organically and we can learn to deal with very high, painful, stressful situations, which is exactly what it's doing when you're doing a 21:59 of thrusters and burpees as fast as you can. That doing that difficult thing pretty much makes the majority of the other things on the outside much easier to deal with.
You're invincible.
Without a doubt.
You're invincible. Any little robot that comes up, a little challenge, bring it on.
100%.
This is what I train for, baby.
Do you think that comes down to what I always say about organic suffering? Like whether it's cold showers, whether it is doing excessively hard training, you're preparing yourself for the difficult things that come at you, man.
If you can, defo. I'm a big advocate for ice baths. I love an ice bath. And every morning, me and Mason will get in, 5:30 in the morning. And we say, if your hardest thing of the entire day is the very first thing you do, then the day's going to be easy.
Without a doubt, 100%.
You know what I mean? No one wants to get out of bed when it's -2 outside and it's freezing cold and you're in your warm bed tucked up, and then you got to go out there and get freezing cold the other end of the spectrum. It's like, well, that's the hardest thing I'm going to have to do today. And I've done it.
And implementing that religiously, like I have done for a very, very long time now, the impact that has, and it doesn't happen overnight, it takes a period of time, but what that does to you is it practically does make you emotionally invincible. Adding that into meditation and reading, which are very difficult things for everybody to embody. I always say that about you: pick one thing and do it for a while, consistently, and then add another thing and just do it
baby
slow.
Steps.
Exactly. Baby steps.
Habit stacking.
Really is. It really is.
One at a time. That's it.
So let's go back then to the MX Twins, and I'm interested to, I think people will be as well, to understand what the goal is, what the vision is, what is it you want to achieve, what is it that you want to achieve through music?
Yeah. Not the only thing, but the biggest thing that matters to me is leaving a positive mark on the world. If I'm spreading positive vibes, I'm happy. I want to spread love. I want to, show men specifically that it's okay to be vulnerable, that it doesn't make you weak to be vulnerable. And I want to leave the world a better place. I want to make people smile and laugh and feel inspired. And then how we can do that is, by other ventures, through music. I like to tell how I'm feeling or what I'm doing, or get deep in the music as well. And I hope people that vibe and connect with that, and loads to come. Loads coming, by the way.
It's really
Very
exciting.
Yeah.
And it comes down to love is the answer
Yeah.
to your problems. That's something that I've been preaching about a lot.
Yeah.
And I think there's certain things that can really make you understand the importance of that. A bit like grief, when we spoke about before, heartbreak as well.
Yeah.
Heartbreak's a big one. But again, it all comes back to learning to love yourself.
Definitely.
Love the parts of yourself that you don't like and you're ashamed of.
Yeah.
And then your love will radiate out to everybody else. But so I read a book. It's called The Saint, the Surfer, and the CEO by Robin Sharma.
Right.
And it speaks about, basically what the book is about is a guy nearly dies. He ends up in hospital. He ends up in a bed next to another guy who is just about to die. And this guy gives him 3 pieces of advice, gives him 3 plane tickets to go and meet 3 different people. The Saint, the Surfer, and the CEO. And each one of them people have a different teaching for him.
Right.
One of them is how to live wisely, and the other one was how to integrate that in your normal day-to-day life. And I think when it comes down to understanding how to integrate living wisely and love into your normal day-to-day, it's about spreading that love to everybody else, man. And you do that through your energy anyway, but you're also speaking about doing that through your music. That purpose is bigger than you.
That's it.
And it's not just about your own financial gain, or your material gain. And that is how these things move mountains.
Definitely. I think another massive part of it all is that we're pursuing through the social media is showing and proving to people that you can do whatever you want to do. You know, and going back to the law of attraction, that I'm putting that to work and you can watch it work. I said in one of my videos months ago now, that I'll be the one to prove. If you don't believe, just watch. I said, just watch, because I'll do it, and then you'll know that it works. You know, I want to be the one that can show people you can literally do anything you want. You can achieve anything that you put your mind to. So, yeah, we're doing that through this. That's the kind of thing we want to put through our socials. We're posting day in the lives of, we go, it's MX2, and we're welcome back to another day in the life. MX2 Twins chasing no dreams, and that's it. And that's just one of the series we're doing because we want to be so authentic and what's the word I'm looking for? Transparent with what we're doing and how we're getting there, so we can literally show people, look, this is step by step the things we're doing day to day life to make our dreams happen.
Shoot for the stars.
Exactly. And the proof is in the pudding that you can do it yourself too. I'm
going to agree with you fully on that, because my journey has been all about taking humongous risks and not being scared to throw yourself into the deep end, throw yourself into things that you didn't think was possible, and also to become a person that you didn't think that you was yet. Yeah. And I've had to embody that to obviously open the gym, and then obviously be the competitor, and then obviously have my online business, and then also to be in the forefront and also be in the limelight. You have to not be scared, not care about other people's opinions and perspectives, and just know that you have proper intentions. That's it. And as long as your intentions are filled with love, you will attract things of that nature into your life, man. Amen, you brother. Really will. Amen. You really will. It's good. I'm very excited. I think everyone will be to watch your journey. So as you come towards the end, I want to ask you a question, and I think this is a question I'm going to ask every single person on the podcast for CLB Future, is to describe yourself in 3 words.
Wow. Bold. Courageous. And bright.
Amen. I love it. I really do. So, okay then. I want to elaborate a little bit on bold. Yeah. Where or who in your family or at a time in your life would you say that became very, very apparent that you're going to become bold, or you was bold, or is there a certain person in your family who you got that boldness from?
No. I've had it within myself for a long time, and can I tell you a story?
Of course you can.
So oh my God, this is one of the most powerful moments of my entire life. And I was in primary school, year 5. So how old would that make me? Like 9,
Yeah,
8 or 9,
9, 10.
something like that. And I remember being on the school field, and I'm on the field looking towards the school. And now looking back, I realise that this is my first interaction with God or the universe, which I didn't know what it was back then. And I looked up to the school, and then I looked up to the sky above the school. And then all of a sudden, this energy just filled me, and I was just looking into the sky, and I still see it and feel it like it was yesterday. Of you're gonna do great. And I got this surge that filled through me. I was never good at anything as a kid. I was never the best at anything. And I got this feeling of just, you're going to do great things. You're meant for this. And I didn't know what. I didn't have a clue what. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't have any dreams, but I knew I had this blessing, this gift put inside of me in that very moment, there and then. And ever since that, I've bared that with honour. And I've known since that day, I'm so blessed to feel it, but I've known since that day that I have got what it takes. That was the strength and courage that I needed to know that I am going to make change, and I'm going to be the one to do it for myself and for the people around me.
Your energy is your currency. And I think just from how passionate that you are and the way that you talk and the energy that you give off, you're going to do big things, bro.
Thank you.
Really,
Likewise, man.
You really are. So I'm going to close it up there. I thought this has actually been an amazing conversation and such an amazing start to the podcast. And I knew we would kick it off right at the deep end. Miles, I want to say massive good luck to you and your brother.
Thank you, man.
Thank you for
so
being
much.
the first person on the podcast.
It's an absolute honour.
We're going to close it there. Thank you very much, everyone.
Big up.
That was class.
Oh, my word.